when you play, what are some things that you think through when we talk about like those mundane moments that you feel like you've grown from the most?
I always like to, like when I write songs, I always build little worlds around them. So like, I start with a place. So like in this song called We Were All Together, it was like, Northwest beers and a blue display, text my high school friends who had moved away. I imagine these places in my mind. Usually they're like real memories, but sometimes they're not. And then I'll just start to like let it happen. I think like if you build something that's real in your head, you just sort of watch. So if you can like build something inside of yourself that is a fertile place for something to happen, then you just watch. They always say like 1,000 lives is a statistic and a single life is a tragedy. The bigger the things get, the less they mean. When I think about the past, it feels like all of the ways that I wish the world was different, is the way that it used to be. And of course, that's not the truth. The key is to find a way to basically do what you're doing as a nostalgist in your present life. There's a sickness to nostalgia too that I definitely have. Like, I'm a sentimental person. This idea that like actually to live in the past is like a form of mental illness. It's like that the more that you create the past to be a place that you want to return to, the more that it never existed that way at all to begin with. Really, the whole practice of making art has been like a practice of imagination. Doing your best to like let the world that you're living in become as vivid and realized as possible. To find the stories within like the world that you're living in. This is what it meant to grow up here, and this is what America means, and this is what my family means. When I was a kid, I would always read like fairy tales. The original versions are a lot different. Like in Robin Hood, the sheriff of Nottingham puts leeches on him and then he dies. That's how the book ends.
It's sad.
Did a book report on The Hobbit every single year from like, I think 4th grade until I was a senior in high school. And my junior year, I did it twice in the same class. In the middle of it, Gandalf has to leave to do something else. And I like that because it's this idea that like there are other people having other problems in the world. Instead of like, I feel like most stories these days, the only story that matters is the one that's happening. And this book's just like a simple problem. I always thought the song was trash. It's by Nickelback. But it's actually a really beautiful song. And it actually reminds me of the little town that I grew up in, so I covered it. And that's what I'm going to sing too.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? The hell is on Joey's head? And this is where I grew up. I think the present one has fixed it up. I never for is hard for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time I better things to do. Criminal record says I broke it twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? It's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Every memory of looking out the back door. Had the photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. Found the photo of the feeling I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say goodbye, goodbye. Remember the old arcade, blew every dollar that we ever made. The cops hated us singing now. They say somebody came to burn it down. We used to listen to the radio and sing along with every song we know. We said someday we'd find out how it feels to sing more than just a steering wheel. Kim's the first girl that I kissed. I was so nervous that I nearly missed. She's had a couple of kids since then. I haven't seen her since God knows. Every memory looking out the back door. Had the photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say goodbye. And every memory of walking out the front door. Found the photo of the feeling I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say goodbye, goodbye. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
Yeah, there's something about, I think, discovery that is innocent. You know, there's like you're finding the world, and you're finding things that are beautiful and things that are exciting, and you're finding yourself. And I think like as you get older, it tends to be more about surviving. It's about like maintaining, and you tend to kind of like harbor yourself into the things that you believe about yourself and about the world, and it's much more of like an exclusive nature, instead of allowing things into your life and being excited to like find out like how big the world is and all the ways that it can change you. It's much more about like protecting the things that you found, which is why I think like as you get older, you have to find ways to like discover yourself new all the time.